What's up, you guys? Welcome to another extra content video on the Girl Who Talks Sports YouTube channel. I'm Sam Cardona. Thank you guys for coming here today. Very excited for this week. So usually I put out a podcast episode every Wednesday. However, I decided not to do that. Things are kind of slow recently. I'm sure I could find things to talk about, but I wanted to do this instead. This week we are doing a full reaction / review to the new movie Space Jam: A New Legacy with none other than LeBron James and Bugs Bunny. I watched the movie yesterday, so today is the 20th of July. I watched it yesterday, the movie came out Friday, so I'm fairly early to this. I haven't seen any spoilers before I watched the movie, which was very nice, and I was able to watch the movie no problem. I bought an HBO Max subscription, which I will be deleting. So I'm really excited to talk about it this week. Something that I just want to start off with is a tweet from Bailey Carlin. Bailey put out a really great tweet that I think is a great way to start off this video, so I'm gonna read it to you. Reminder that Space Jam is a movie made for children. It's supposed to be corny, cheesy, ridiculous, and goofy. They aren't making it for your 30-year-old ass. Space Jam 1 and 2 are both children's movies. We are going to go into this movie reacting to it as itself, and then we are also obviously going to do some comparisons. It's inevitable because there is a first movie to compare it to. Plus the whole LeBron James, MJ situation, inevitable. So that is what we're going to do today. We're going to go over the entire plot of the movie, talk about what I liked, what I didn't like. But guys, don't forget to subscribe. That would be fantastic. Give a thumbs up to the video, turn the bell on to get notified every time I upload a new video. And please subscribe to my podcast on all podcasting platforms. So basically we are set the beginning of this movie in Akron, Ohio. LeBron James, little kid, gets given a video game by his friend. His coach is like, hey, you missed the last shot, you need to focus more. He throws the video game out. Now we know where LeBron James in this movie basically lies because of video games. We then move on to meet his family, which is not his real family. Bronny is not in this movie. He was probably doing some extracurricular activities. Nonetheless, we meet Dom, who the actor who plays him is absolutely adorable. Little pumpkin. He's so cute. I love him. We meet Dom, who as a small child has designed his own video game, which is probably the coolest thing ever. I know that we are setting the stage here like LeBron is like, video games are distractions and blah, 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 blah. But he literally designed an entire video game, which is so incredibly hard. LeBron obviously is like, you need to focus on basketball because blah, 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 blah. I think that this sets a good moral of the story for both children and for parents. It shows children that they have to be themselves and do what they do best and play to their strengths and so on and so forth. And it shows parents too that your children are not carbon copies of you. Some of them might follow in your footsteps and others might not. For example, I think LeBron's oldest son in the movie is more inclined to play basketball than Dom is. So I think that as children watching this movie and parents watching it with their children, I think that this is setting a fairly good moral here. I also just want to mention that the ball machine in the beginning when they're playing basketball on the court is the coolest thing I've ever seen. You just say ball and the basketball comes out. I don't play basketball, but I want one, please. We then get our first visual of Don Cheadle as a villain. His name is Algae Rhythm because he is an algorithm. So corny, but honestly he's pretty clever. Don Cheadle for me made this movie good. He is an excellent actor and an even better villain than I expected. Just held the movie together, basically. Without him, I think it really would have fallen apart. We learned that he wants to bring in LeBron, have him be part of his algorithm, and make Algae famous. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but they do refer to LeBron James as King James so many times, and oh my god, LeBron, please. Why? Moving on! We then get a little, side by side with LeBron and Dom. LeBron tries playing his game, it glitches, things get deleted, it's a sad thing, but then they're going to the Warner Brothers studio to hear Al-G's proposal that the algorithm has created for Warner Brothers for LeBron to be a part of. LeBron jumping really quick to say, like, this idea of him basically getting scanned and then put into movies, like, as a cartoon is really stupid is kind of, like, dumb. Because the idea is really cool. The idea to be able to scan yourself, become a cartoon, and insert yourself into movies is a really cool idea. LeBron just could have said, hey, not for me. But he didn't. He said it was stupid, which is just dumb. Obviously, Dom was really into it. They get into a little bit of a fight. They end up in this room with all the wires and everything are. Al-G pulls them into the serververse. This is where we find out where the basketball game is going to come into play. Al-G has kidnapped Dom, basically, and told LeBron, hey, you need to make an all-star team and beat me in a basketball game in order to get your son back. So he sends him off to the quote-unquote rejects, which is Toon World. We get to Toon World, we meet Bugs, we find out that all the other all the other characters are off in different places because Al-G sent them away in a rocket ship to, like, live better lives, I guess. And Bugs stayed back because he says Toon World is his home. Moving on, LeBron and Bugs basically GTA Marvin the Martian spaceship to go get everybody and gather up this team so LeBron can play in this basketball game. One thing I really enjoyed about this movie was the fact that they put in so many Easter eggs. They put in so many things because Warner Brothers owns so many things and they've created so many movies. Harry Potter, The Matrix, Mad Max, Casablanca, all of these really cool things that everybody knows about. Oh, the DC universe. Everybody knows about this stuff, and since Looney Tunes might be a little bit older and like kids watching it might not be as familiar with Looney Tunes, showing them things that they probably do know about, like Superman, kind of brings them into the movie a little bit. I have one quarrel. We discover that LeBron James is a Hufflepuff. Now, as a Hufflepuff myself, I thought, I don't think so. I really think LeBron James is a Gryffindor. That's just me. I just could be salty because I really don't want LeBron James in my house. If we want to get astrological terminology in the mix here, I think I'm a Hufflepuff with a Ravenclaw rising, but we don't have time to dissect all of that. I also like that we meet Lola and she's doing the whole task for the Wonder Woman thing. Thought that was really fun. Zendaya as Lola Bunny was fantastic. I love Zendaya. She's amazing. Now, we get into the major manipulation part of this movie, which is Al-G manipulating Dom. Dom doesn't even know he's been kidnapped. Al-G wants to steal his code to his video game in order to take over the serververse/world. It's so, like, the manipulation level is so high. I was like visibly upset. And we see a lot of really cool things that he was able to do with tech, like scan WNBA and NBA superstars to get like their movements and everything to go into the game. As LeBron is going around picking up all the Looney Tunes, we find out that he himself is learning how to have fun again, which I guess every once in a while needs to learn how to have fun. More manipulation happens with Al-G and Dom. Dom is now going to be playing on Al-G's team, and which we later find out is the Goon Squad. The idea of LeBron playing his son for his son that his son doesn't know he was playing for kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It ends up kind of smoothing itself out at the end. However, the idea of them playing against each other was really like weird to me for the majority of this movie. Again, LeBron is learning that not everybody is LeBron James, and that tunes are tunes and they're a loony, and he's treating them like Dom, like he needs them to be exactly like him. The good thing about this movie, I think, is that like they got to the basketball game fairly quickly. I feel like in the original Space Jam, it didn't happen. So they get to the game. Basically, Al-G has sucked real people into the serververse by people watching the live stream. Now he's saying, oh my god, like no one's gonna be able to go home. Really hot ransom hostage situation we got going here with Don Cheadle. I must say, Ernie Johnson and Lil Rel as the commentators for this game, incredible. Ernie Johnson is seriously like probably the best person in all of the NBA. Lil Rel, I mean, I've seen him in a couple movies. He's pretty funny, and he was just as funny in this movie, and I think that they made a solid pair as the announcers for this game. Now we meet the Goon Squad. We find out who is on the Goon Squad and their fun names that get to go with them. We have the White Mamba, which is Diana Taurasi, which I thought was really cool, and they turned her like into a snake. Really sick stuff. We have Wet Fire, which is Klay Thompson. Makes a lot of sense because he's like one of the Splash Brothers. I get it. Nneka Ogwumike is Arachnica, I believe is how you say it. She's like a spider. Really cool. I like that they put WNBA players in the mix here. I think that obviously they didn't do that in the original one. It wasn't the cool thing to do, was to be, you know, supportive of women in sports. Regardless. Then we meet Anthony Davis, who is the Brow, and I think that that is just self-explanatory. Later on, we meet Kronos, which is Damian Lillard, but he is not in the original lineup. He comes in later on in the game. I laughed out loud when LeBron said that Anthony Davis's eyebrow was ugly. That was funny. So now LeBron has got to learn a different type of basketball because we're in Dom's basketball game, which includes style points, point differences, all this different thing is going on. LeBron, obviously an old time guy, has been playing basketball a certain way. He doesn't play video game basketball, so it's very different and he has to adjust. Again, throughout this game, we see a lot of Easter eggs and things. In the crowd, they bring in a lot of characters. I remember seeing Pennywise from the movie It in the crowd there. Just really like small things that if you were looking in the background you would see. I thought that was a very clever touch. Now we get to my favorite part of the movie, which was halftime. So basically, same idea as when it was in the original Space Jam. They go into halftime, they're down by like 1,000 points. It's not looking good for the Toon Squad. But Sylvester the Cat comes in and says that he's found Michael Jordan and that there's a man walking down the hallway towards them. There's an announcer in the background saying, Michael Jordan, 6'6" out of North Carolina. Before they revealed it, I paused and I said to myself, no one else was in my house. I was watching this by myself alone. I said, if this is Michael B. Jordan, I am going to lose my mind. I resume the movie. And who comes out of the dark hallway but Michael B. Jordan? Michael B. Jordan. Okay, first of all, I love Michael B. Jordan. I mean, if you don't, like, who even are you? He is not only good looking, but he's a fantastic actor. The best part of this was that he came in and said, Clear Eyes, Full Hearts Can't Lose. Obviously from Friday Night Lights. If you guys watch the entirety of that show, Michael B. Jordan is in Friday Night Lights. So the whole thing just really came together. I thought it was really funny. Probably the best part of the movie for me. I thought that it was just well done. Now it's time to get loony. They decide to start working to their Looney Tunes strengths in this game, which is what helped them win. The rap battle with the Notorious P.I.G. wasn't feeling it. Thought it was a little weird. I'm sure a lot of kids thought that that was really cute. I thought I was a little uncomfortable watching it. Then we see, even though Dom is losing at his own video game that he has created, he is having fun playing with his dad. Don Cheadle is very upset that Dom is having fun. There was a lot of distortion within Algae and the fact that they weren't winning the game anymore. He takes it upon himself after Dom has switched sides to play with LeBron that he is going to like basically make himself a huge person and play in Dom's place. I was watching a video by my friend Ashley Wilson, a part of Her Sports Convo. She also did a review on Space Jam 2, and she said that larger Don Cheadle looked like Wesley Snipes. I can see it. There was like right before all this happened, when Damian Lillard comes in and he's like slowing down time because it's Dame time. Granny goes into the game and she like does this whole thing and basically like wrecks Dame and like does her thing because she's Granny. And Don Cheadle says, "What in the AARP?" That got a laugh out loud laugh from me. That was funny. Now we're at the end of the game. We remember that when they did LeBron's special move, the game glitched and they got deleted. LeBron's supposed to do it, but Bugs decides to be the hero, comes in, does it, glitches out, and we are expected to believe that Bugs Bunny is going to be deleted. The world is saved, everybody goes back up to their normal things, yada yada yada. And then we are just expected to believe that Bugs Bunny is dead. Huh? Are you serious? Y'all had the audacity to kill Bugs Bunny. That is... I had no words. I was genuinely like, no, like this can't be real. Michael Jordan could never kill Bugs Bunny. The movie ends happy. Dom goes to his coding camp that LeBron at first told him he couldn't go because he had to go to basketball camp. We find out Bugs doesn't die. He comes back and he's brought the whole squad to go live with LeBron in LA, and they bring out a Taco Tuesday joke. LeBron, like seriously, the whole Taco Tuesday thing was really cute for the first few times, and now it is just blown way out of proportion. So basically that's the entirety of Space Jam 2. I'm gonna go over a few things that I really liked, a few things that I didn't like. One thing I forgot to mention through this entire thing is Petey. Petey was like this cute little electronic thing that was Don Cheadle's pet. He was really cute in it, and I think throughout the whole thing he kind of made a little bit of a fun thing to look at, and while he was on the bad side, you can tell that after he's mean to Petey, you know, Petey is kind of like, you don't care about me. It was cute. I like the Easter eggs throughout this movie, like I said earlier, because of the fact it kind of draws in more viewers, you know, people can relate to things more, and it's more recognizable as opposed to maybe Looney Tunes, which aren't as recognizable anymore as they were in 1996. The graphics I thought were really cool. The video game aspect of it all is going with the age of time. Kids and adults play a lot of video games now, so it made a lot of sense. Things I didn't like about this movie. The amount of times they said King James. I get it. That's like his shtick. He like is always been called the king. We get it. He must have had a part in writing this script because the amount of times that they referred to him as King James or the king was too much for me. Just too much. Another thing that I really was like very confused about in terms of the storyline of this was game design camp. Is that a thing? Do kids really go to camp to create video games? If they do, like, please let me know. I had no idea that that was a thing. It's really cool, but I was like, okay, basketball camp. And then it was like, no, I'm going to video game design camp. Yeah, I did not know that that was a thing. If it is a thing, I don't even know. Coding camp I know is a thing, I guess. I don't know. Finally, the one thing that I wish that they did that was in the original, that wasn't in this one, was more of the players. In the original movie, we see all the guys kind of get their powers sucked away from them. They can't play basketball anymore because the Monstars has taken it away from them. In this one, Dom just kind of scanned them at some point when he was at a basketball game with his dad, and they used it for the video game, and then they were inside the video game. I kind of wish that it was almost like if Don Cheadle like started using their powers too much in the game, it took their powers away from them in real life. I thought that that would be kind of a fun thing to see. It's the one thing in terms of comparisons that I thought would have happened. More of the NBA and WNBA players actually being affected in real life by it. Or maybe even like suck them into the live stream and like have them watch themselves as like weird video game characters. Could you imagine Anthony Davis just standing there going like, whoa, that guy's got a big unibrow. I crack myself up. So that's the entirety of Space Jam 2. If I had to give it a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, as a 25-year-old woman, I'd probably give it like a 5.7 out of 10. Cute kids movie. It is what it is. I'll take it for, you know, compared to Space Jam 1. To be fair, Space Jam 1 as a children's movie also would probably fall in the same rating just because of, again, how cheesy and goofy it is. But if you're looking to sit down with your child and have them learn something fun in their life and for you to learn something, this is a good movie to watch. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this review of Space Jam 2. If you think I'm completely wrong about how I feel about it, let me know. If you think I'm completely right, let me know. I don't care. Give this video a thumbs up, please. Very helpful for me. And make sure to subscribe to The Girl Who Talks Sports here on YouTube turn the little bell on to receive notifications every time I upload a new video. You can also subscribe to me on all podcasting platforms at The Girl Who Talks Sports. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is that you get your podcasts from, The Girl Who Talks Sports is there. We put out new episodes every single Wednesday, which in this case is just this YouTube video, but most of the time we do full-length podcast episodes. We have guests on, we talk about current events, obviously the tea, all that good stuff. So please make sure to check that out. Everyone, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all have a fun, fantastic, sports-filled day, and I will see you guys all next week. Bye!